Here's Johnny.
I'll be back.
And you will know my name is the Lord.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Groovy.
Welcome back, everybody, to the fourth and final segment of Box Office Pulp's Dark Knight Rises podcast. And that's right, the legend ends tonight. Or not, we'll probably keep talking about Batman until the sun explodes. So, either way, thanks for sticking with us. You've probably spent about 9 hours listening to this. 10? I don't know. Rounding errors. Enjoy.
No, I came back to stop you.
Oh, snap, Batman.
He really, couldn't think of anything better while he was in prison for 5 months doing push-ups. And then when I meet him, I'm gonna say, fuck your metal face. Like, he couldn't anything.
Like, the most obvious line could have been, no, we came to stop you. Like, him talking about all of Gotham.
Exactly, like that little tweak.
Like, it would have been something.
Wow.
You know?
So it just feels so wrong. And besides that, he just kind of, like, is standing in the crowd. Why don't we get a great shot of, like, him popping out of the bat and flying down and hitting him, or popping out of nowhere?
Or just show Batman leading them in some way.
Right.
Or how about, like, defeating Bane? That'd be a hell of a thing, too.
He kicks him.
Overcoming Bane, the guy who broke him earlier in the movie.
It's frustrating because if you listen to what they're saying about the planning for this fight, the people who choreographed it said, okay, we want to make this, like, Batman is taking the shots, but he's playing defense, and he's wearing Bane out until he can strike and, you know, break his mask. And that's kind of interesting, except for I don't really want to see Batman win just by punching Bane in the face a couple of times.
They also don't show any of that, Batman actually doing any of that. He just punches him and his mask breaks.
Yeah, well, Batman gets punched a bunch of times in the first half of the fight, so it just looks like Batman's bad at fighting. It doesn't really look like he's got a strategy.
Yeah, like, how does he do it? Like, he's losing the fight, and then all of a sudden he kicks him to the door.
Okay, so he's losing the fight pretty badly. He gets up on top of the steps. He does the big haymaker, which Bane catches, but then he quickly bashes Bane in the face with the back of his hand when he gets it loose. He uses the scalpel on his wrist to cut open the vents on Bane's mask, which is enough to throw him off, and then he starts punching him, and Bane is too angry to really fight correctly.
Yeah, because he keeps beating up that post, which is like
made of styrofoam.
Which is kind of funny when you think about it. It's like Bane is so worked up that I'm just gonna start punching things.
It's frustrating. The Hardy really sells it. Like, his speed is amazing if you watch him punch that pillar. But it doesn't feel like that great of a fight, just because Batman is just like, well, alright, punch him twice in the face, good enough.
There's a lot of hostility against masonry in this movie.
Yeah, but Hardy is really athletic in this movie. Like, the dude can seriously do a fight scene.
Oh, yeah.
And yet, it's like, we don't see much of that. Mostly with the sewer fight.
Oh, because we don't have much Batman, we don't have a chance for Bane to really show off his stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing. They forget about Bane at some point. Like, there's a good 20 minutes where he's not in the movie.
Well, normally in a movie you think, like, a hero is only as good as his villain. So if you have a really lame villain, the hero doesn't seem that impressive. I think it's the other way around. Like, our villain's impressive, but he's not there very often, so our hero doesn't seem that impressive.
Yeah. It just kind of goes into that third act mode when Batman comes back.
And then you get the Talia introduction where she's really the mastermind and pushes Bane down. Then he gets that death scene where you really don't get the glamour shot of him dying. You just get a quick bam in the chest.
Matthew Modine got a more respectable death.
Yeah. It really hurts too because
there's nothing respectable about being Matthew Modine.
Never forget it. But to make it even worse, when Bane is dying, right before that, we have to go through the, where is it? Where's the trigger?
Okay. I know it's really popular to bash the Batman voice. Even people who like the Batman voice cannot stand that scene.
That's what I mean. I don't mind the Batman voice. I think it's great. But just the way he says it in that scene.
The lisp really comes through. The you have my The "you have my permission to die" part's pretty cool, but other than that, him yelling, his list was coming through way too strong.
I like to think Batman was sitting there like, damn it, I should have used my permission to die line before when I first met him. I'll use it now.
And it felt like a really weird callback to "Where are they?" from The Dark Knight for some reason.
So yeah, the big showdown between Bane and Batman was not that impressive, which was a huge bummer. It felt very short. It didn't feel like Batman really finished off Bane.
He didn't. Batman never defeated Bane. Catwoman just killed him like he was a bitch.
Yeah, God, I think part of it is it feels like Rocky 3. It's got like the same formula as Rocky 3, except for Mr. T has been replaced by Tom Hardy.
As he should be.
I like Mr. T.
So do I.
All right then, we have nothing to fight about.
Okay,
Podcast over.
Not everybody.
No, I still have more complaints.
Okay. Don't we all?
Okay, Blake trying to use the bridge instead of the tunnel. We've talked about that.
Oh, wow, I never even realized that.
Yeah, I never thought about that either. That has a big plot hole now that I think about it. Holy crap.
Wow.
The answer is Blake. Blake just wanted those kids to die.
I'm telling you, Blake just screws everything up.
He wanted those kids to watch him get shot down by those soldiers and then die in a nuclear explosion.
Also, I've always wondered, like, why didn't anybody just climb out around the cars and walk out through the tunnel?
I can't tell you that.
Okay.
Science, Mike. Science.
Okay, we've already talked about gruesome murder, but I wrote a note. I think it's a good point. The movie goes out of its way to make everyone around Batman a killer, just so Batman doesn't have to break his rule, even if he does. It's like they couldn't find a logical way to make this movie work where Batman didn't have to kill anyone, but they just tried to pretend that that wasn't an issue.
Yeah. I mean, once again, like, this with Blake, shooting two people, trying to interrogate them.
That one guy was giving him a really hard bear hug, though.
Well, good thing he ricocheted the bullet off the tanker.
Yeah.
I love you, John Blake. Oh,
why?
No, I just wanted to say his love.
Why, Robin?
Robin, John Blake.
That's also one of my complaints. We'll just talk about that now. I feel like Nolan didn't do a lot of fan service in his movies, and maybe that's a good thing, because when he tries, it feels terrible.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Because
like
here's the thing, I do get why they did what they did, but it's like something Hero said like a couple weeks ago. It's like having a Superman movie where a character is revealed to Superboy owns.
Yeah.
Like it's just they might as well have said his name was Nightwing John Blake.
It's like Nolan
That
just
would have
thought,
been awesome.
oh, if we just make his first name Robin, that's the same thing. It's like, no, it's really not. It's really not. And it's like, why couldn't you just reveal his, like, in reality, his last name was Grayson.
Yeah, just
fine, I will accept his first name not even being Dick. Fine, but just make it Grayson then.
Yeah, and it could have been like a little throwaway thing that only fans would have caught and appreciated it. Instead, they had to make it like a big deal. Ooh,
I would argue people know who Dick Grayson is. People know the name Dick Grayson.
Maybe. Like there are some people who...
I'm not saying everybody, but most likely people will know who Dick Grayson is.
Regardless, it's just... I don't even know, like, why it was there. Like, I don't know, like, why at that point? Like, I guess just for the sake of another twist. Which,
You know, it probably would have been cool. Not even cool. It's still stupid, but would have been better if it wasn't then set up that he was going to become Batman's partner or become Batman, but it was just like, okay, so this is like, he was like Robin in the movie without being Robin. So it's just a nod to that. And just leave it there.
I might have been quicker to accept it as like just kind of a nod to the thing, but I don't know. I'm very conflicted on that.
But as it stands out, it's retarded. It is absolutely retarded, and I just don't get it.
Out of curiosity, how do you guys feel about the idea of Gordon Levitt coming back as Batman in future installments of the DC universe.
I'd kill myself.
So if they include him as Batman, like the Justice League movie, you'd not be down?
I would
kill
be
myself.
perfectly fine. I would be perfectly fine with it if it were a completely different continuity, and he was still playing Bruce Wayne.
That would be acceptable.
Because I think he would do a good job with the role
Well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt already is Batman, so
in his spare time.
But if he was playing Bruce Wayne, yeah, he'd make a good Batman.
Because if you think about it, like in a Justice League movie, they're probably not going to have much time to go over how Bruce handles living in Gotham. And the
Or
fact
anything
that,
else.
Wayne Manor is currently filled with orphans. So,
Well,
you would miss out on a lot
To
of
be
that stuff.
fair, Wayne Manor is usually filled with orphans.
At a certain
oh,
to be
Master
fair-
Bruce, another one.
Orphans are usually getting filled with
I like to
Bruce's
imagine
thumb.
that, all of their names were like the first names of the code name. So there was a little girl named Batgirl. There was a little boy named Azrael.
Oracle Brown.
Look, Robin 1, Robin 2, Robin 3.
Stevie Riddler.
Spoiler McCain.
All right, so we're finally at the end of the list. My big issue here, the mega happy ending. Bruce,
To be fair, you could just say the entire ending.
Bruce faking his death. It seems inconsiderate for the fact that he had to tell all of his loved ones that he was totally dead, and then basically go JK several weeks, months, days later.
Yeah, it's kind of cruel when you think about the scene where Alfred's falling apart at his grave.
Which, by the way, is a great scene. Like, I love Kane's acting in that scene. Like, it actually, the last time I watched The Dark Knight Rises, it actually got to me. Like, I felt a little choked up just because the idea of Alfred believing he lost Bruce is just so, it's tragic.
But as an audience member, you realize Batman's alive, like on repeat viewings anyways, so it cuts down on that emotional intensity. You just feel like, instead of connecting with Alfred's pain, you're just thinking, man, Bruce Wayne is a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since there's absolutely no reason for him to fake his death. At all.
Yeah.
Other than just to, I guess, become a martyr, but it just didn't make...
But, wait. Well, I can understand faking Batman's death, but
why fake
why
Bruce Wayne's death?
Wayne?
Actually, I don't even get faking Batman's because there's going to be a new Batman.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
set up. Well, besides, it's a perfect opportunity. How often do you get the chance to kill Batman off in a film franchise? It wouldn't make sense normally because there's always going to be another sequel.
It's, it's strange. Like, Mike and I, our biggest fear, like in the months leading up to this movie, and he'll attest to this, was the idea that they're going to kill Batman. Like, Mike, on a number of occasions, said, if they kill Batman, I'm walking out of the theater.
But I would
I think-
Now
I-
I find myself wishing they killed
Yes.
Batman.
Yes, because they actually did something worse.
like the sacrifice would have made a lot more sense. Like,
They
it
killed
would've
the
been like, wow,
idea of Batman.
Batman is
Yeah.
a real hero. Like, he gave his life to save the city. I mean, he still saves the city, but he also, manages to find a way to be an asshole to all of his friends at the same time.
Hero, that's a good way to put it. He killed the idea of Batman.
Yeah, that
Fucking true.
it's like this was touted as, what was it they said? It was the end of a trilogy
Yeah.
or something like that. It was the epic conclusion to the trilogy, I think is what they kept
Legend
calling it.
ends.
Yeah, the legend ends. Well, yeah, the legend of Bruce Wayne being a noble and just character. Like,
And-
he's kind of selfish when you think about it, because, really, he just kind of punking out.
Yeah.
You know what's awesome? The day before I watched The Dark Knight Rises in theaters, I was reading an old Batman comic. It was the issue where, ironically, Batman and Bane team up to take out some Lazarus pits, and at the end, Bane reveals that he may be, in reality, Batman's brother. In the back of that comic was a Darwin Cook, short black and white Batman comic. That's about Gotham giving Batman a statue in their, like, Central Park. At the end of the story, Batman allows the statue to be blown up, saying he lies and says he couldn't find the detonator for it, so it explodes. And the last panel is him holding the detonator and throwing it away. He allowed the statue to blow up because he didn't want a symbol of himself. The next day, I watch a movie in which Batman gets a statue. Very weird.
By the way, this is a big problem I have with it, too. How did they get such an accurate depiction of Batman?
He posed, man. It's like, remember Batman Forever, the Time magazine cover?
Look,
Same diff.
If it was Val Kilmer, I would totally get it. I would totally get it.
What bugs me is, why couldn't they have just done, like, a bronze bat signal?
Yeah, that's what I actually thought they should have done, is, like, taken, like, bits of debris that they found on the Gotham City streets and made a bat symbol out of it.
See, I don't understand why Blake says, oh, it's wrong that Gotham will never know the hero that saved them. You guys fucking know it's Bruce Wayne, just tell him. You think he's dead? He's not going to care. Dead people don't care. Like, they just go around.
Mad that I said that he was a hero.
Yeah, like they
Instead
just
of
go
a
around being
selfish
like,
millionaire playboy degenerate lunatic.
I really don't understand why they couldn't go around being like, hey guys, Bruce Wayne was actually Batman. Just so you know. That's why we're putting the statue in his house.
Spread it on and pay forward.
Blake acts like there was some sort of note Batman handed him that said, hey, don't let anyone know.
I'm setting this thing up with John Blake, with Robin John Blake. He's going to be the new Batman, okay? Just keep it on the down low. Then Gordon jumps off the building.
What have I done?
See, one thing I can find okay about Batman faking his death is that we never see the people of Gotham being worth saving. Like, we never get any footage of them not being horrible people to each other. Like, as soon as Bane, like, takes over the city, they immediately, like, the lower class people immediately start beating up the rich jerks. So you really never get a sense of, like, Batman needing to save these assholes.
So, I think Flexo is condoning the idea of blowing up Gotham City.
Like, I didn't see anyone worthwhile.
I mean, for it. I'm trying to figure out exactly what Batman as a symbol really does.
Or why Batman cares. Like, why does he want to save these people? They don't really like him. He doesn't really seem to care about them that much. None of them really exhibit worthwhile tendencies. It's like, who cares?
Well, they didn't blow up that boat that time.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. That works in The Dark Knight.
After Tiny Lister took it into his own hands.
Yeah. So that really works for that movie, but we don't have any demonstrations of it in this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Shockingly, this movie is flawed. Next.
That was the end. That was literally the end of the movie. I can't complain
right on,
about
Black
the
Power.
credits.
So how
The legend ends, Mike.
So how much does the last shot piss you off?
The rising.
It just angers me.
Why? What don't you like about it?
It just angers me.
Vocalize here. Give me some reasons.
No, it just
Your
angers
words,
me.
man.
No, it angers me. That's it. Just angers me.
You just hate splunking?
It just Blake rising up, and then the title's Dark Knight Rises comes up.
Well, again, I think it goes back to the idea that Batman's supposed to be a symbol. So it's that symbol rising more so than the individual playing the symbol.
Also, Nolan's not very subtle, so...
Oh, yeah. But just the implication there, just... Ugh.
I think by that time we had already fully got it. Like, we had already knew where it was going, so it just...
I don't know.
I know, but just actually seeing it annoys me.
For a sense of transition, though, I really like the fact that you got the rising pillar and it goes right to black. It looked nice.
It looked nice as a transition.
It was a nice shot, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to stick with you, and as the ending of a trilogy, you really want that last shot to work. It does.
I think Mike more so morally objects to it, which...
Yeah, I don't have a... I said the movie was fucking beautiful, okay?
He just doesn't like Joseph Gordon-Levitt being lifted.
I don't like that. I want him on the ground, okay? So he's safe. The delicate flower.
He needs
didn't
gravity in his control.
Pride in the Man can't climb up towers.
Oh, wait, I watched Premium Rush the other night. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Huh. That is
Action
a movie that
Gordon
Box
Levitt.
Office Pulp condones.
Box
was much
office
better than
Pulp
Dark Knight
recommends
Rises.
Premium Rush.
So that was my long list of, admittedly, very nitpicky complaints about the movie and some genuine issues. Do you guys have anything you would like to add that we haven't already touched on?
I think we touched on pretty much everything. I mean, MB and I could probably go off for about 4 hours. I wanted to stew, but
Look, no, at this point, like, I'm fully content.
we
I feel like
covered
I've
a lot.
I feel like I've got a huge burden off my shoulders at this
Yeah.
point. Because this movie stuck with me, and will probably stick with me for the rest of time, for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, I
You'll
think
never unsee what you've seen.
Let me just throw some numbers at you, though, to blow your mind.
No.
No.
The Dark
No.
Knight has a 94% on the tomato meter from critics.
You want to know why?
The average rating from critics is an 8.5 out of 10. Audiences gave it a 96%. Look
You
at The
wanna know
Dark
why?
Knight Rises. 87% from critics, an 8 out of 10 average rating, and 92% of audiences liked it. So either we're just really cynical, nitpicky bastards, or they're wrong.
They're wrong.
They're wrong. I'm not a cynical or nitpicky bastard.
Well,
I-
Or-
Sometimes.
He is, but for on different subjects. Every other subject, he is. Yeah, Mike, you're a cynical and nitpicky bastard, but
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. Boobs.
let's not mince words here. It's true.
But here's the thing. I think what people want this movie to be is different from what the movie actually is. Like, I think that is the sole reason for so much praise.
Listen, Dark Knight Rises could have been Chris Nolan shitting for 2.5 hours, just with his back to us.
Well,
And people
metaphorically, it kind of was.
Okay, you got me there, and people would have given it a 10 out of 10. So, but whatever.
I'm really curious, though. I don't know what that noise was. I'm really curious, though.
Break Ghost.
Wait, no, was that a ting?
It sounded like a ting.
Oh shit! Ting 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 ting.
Oh my god.
Flex, watch your back.
Vengeance. Ting ting.
I don't think we're just being nitpicky for being nitpicky's sake. I mean, I could nitpick the Dark Knight apart if I wanted to. I don't want to.
I mean, Mike, to be perfectly fair, I think Flexo was nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking.
Yeah, but that's Flexo. I'm not talking on his behalf. I'm talking on our behalf.
But that's
I'm
the
sorry.
thing. Like,
I'm
The
sorry.
Dark Knight definitely has its flaws, but we can watch that movie and forgive all the stupid little things. Like, I would have a hard time thinking of them without rewatching the movie. Whereas Dark Knight Rises, they all stick out to me. So there's something about that, something underlying that just makes me not want to forgive it.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's like, this podcast is a testament to the fact that there is bad that outweighs the good. Because we just spent, like, an hour and a half talking about what we disliked and, 15 minutes talking about what we liked.
Is that? I feel like we spent longer talking.
Probably like a half hour, but I mean, I wanted to like this movie. Even when I found out about the ending, I still wanted to at least like it as a movie. So much so that when I came out of it, I said that it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Next day, I was like, well, it's good. Then it became, it's okay. And I was like, it's not very good.
And here's the thing. I am one of the biggest Batman boys you will ever meet. Like, I am an apologist for Batman and Robin.
MB has a Bat month.
I am one of the biggest cases of, just being obsessed with the character to an unhealthy degree, I admit. But even I could not defend, more than half of the stuff in this movie. If I can't do that, then this movie has some serious flaws.
we're not we're not complaining because it's popular, so we need to complain against it. We're not complaining because we don't like Nolan or anything like that. We're not complaining because it's not quote unquote comic accurate.
No.
Comic accuracy aside about the ending and its meaning to the character of Batman, just as a movie. And it's not a fucking, it's still for the most part, besides it being draggy and way too long, I can still watch it.
Yeah.
As a movie.
Here's also a big thing that I hear, like, all the time, as far as, like, the comic accuracy going for it. Like, it's not just the comics. Like, the animated series, the Adam West 60s series, the movie serials, every single piece of Batman media has stuck to one single idea. And the idea is that Bruce Wayne will always be Batman.
And
this is the movie that says no, and that makes it wrong.
Yes. I'm not a purist. I mean, like, my favorite fictional character of all time is the Joker.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, Joker wears makeup.
Yep. And while that did bother you, it's like, you will never say a bad word about Ledger's performance.
Fuck no. I love The Dark Knight. And I love the portrayal of the Joker in that. Am I happy that he's wearing makeup? No, but it doesn't ruin the movie for me. Probably things that piss you guys off about certain comic accuracy things in other movies don't bother me. But betrayal of the actual character, that's where I can't stand.
Yeah. And that is ultimately what the movie does wrong. Yeah. That's the biggest flaw.
No, I do too with the script.
Yeah, well, the script, yeah, that's...
You know,
I mean, once again, just as a movie, it's not good.
You know, despite all I've said tonight, I have to admit, I don't think it's a horrible movie.
Get him, Trident Man.
Shut up.
I don't think I wouldn't say it's a horrible movie.
No.
I wouldn't even say it's a bad movie.
Like,
no,
okay, I would rank this above Spider-Man 3, but I'm not going to put this on my top 10 of the year list.
Yeah, I think it's a mess.
I think as far as, like, Batman movies go, it is probably still above It's definitely still above Batman and Robin.
MB.
Oh, yeah.
Rank the Batman movies. Best to worst.
Okay.
Mask of the Phantasm counts.
My preference, or just on a technical term?
However you want to do it.
Okay, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Batman Forever, Batman Returns, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman and Robin. And you said Mask of the Phantasm. Put that between The Dark Knight and Batman Forever.
Oh, okay. Correct answer was Mask of the Phantasm, but I'll take it.
God damn asshole.
I like how I'm the only one that made a list.
Well, I figured you were
You're the only one who had to.
You're the only one whose opinion matters.
Because I'm the fan that nobody deserves. I'm the fan that everyone needs.
Well, I guess to close things out here, what do we want to see for the next Batman? If we could have any dream Batman reboot, sequel, prequel, remake, whatever the hell you want to call it, next, what would it be?
A good sequel to Dark Knight?
You just retcon it.
I want it to be a movie where Batman doesn't have to do an origin story again. I want it to have, I want it to have continuity. And I want it to be something that embraces the fantastical elements. Like, I want to see a Batman movie where he fights Man-Bat or Clayface or something like that.
Or a good Mr. Freeze movie.
Essentially, I want something like the Arkham games and the animated series combined.
Like a happy medium between, like, the comics and, like, the Nolan films would be...
Yeah, something that's still grounded in a real world. Well, not a real... Something that's still grounded in a believable world, but allows for the more fantastic elements of the character.
Like, I would love to see a Batman movie where it's literally the 1930s.
Ooh, like Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, Gotham by Gaslight. I don't mind the idea of an Elseworlds tale as long as it's good. I will see it.
See, I would love to see Batman Year 100 done as a movie.
I've actually never read that.
Oh man, it's like my favorite Batman story.
That is a random ass pull you just did, man.
Really? Oh, Year 100 is the best. I love Paul Pope.
I want a mastermind Riddler.
Yes.
And I want, like MB said, a continuity. We don't get origin story again, but I want still the year one type origin story.
And a big thing, I want sidekicks. I want a Batman family on
Yes,
screen.
that's what I was gonna say. Finally see a Bat Family movie.
I would like it if they did like Batman Beyond, because then they could do the origin story, but at least it'd be something new, and there'd be the new surrounding to keep us interested.
I wouldn't mind Batman Beyond.
I would love it.
Oh, and I want an ongoing series.
Like Bond, where it just keeps going, even if they have to switch out.
I don't want 3
Batman.
movies in a fucking reboot. Again and again and again.
Yeah, I'm kind of
You can change actors, you can change how the villains are portrayed. You know, if you're fucking 6 movies in, I don't care. I just want, like, an ongoing series.
See, I love what Marvel is doing with their films, because it just, the plan is huge. Like, just keep making more and more films and not going back and redoing anything.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3.
Except the Hulk.
Yeah, well,
That was forgivable.
yeah.
They were making up for past mistakes with that one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think, not to mention, the first Hulk wasn't done exclusively by Marvel.
Yeah, that was different.
Yeah. So I feel like now that Marvel's got their hands on stuff, they're doing a great job pushing the series forward.
I'm more so Matt Ruffalo.
Oh, well, to be fair, that's still in continuity at least.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, Marvel's not
This makes
going,
a perfect example of what we were saying, that you can just switch actors.
Because, I mean, I don't want Iron Man to restart after Robert Downey Jr. leaves. It's going to suck when he goes, but I want the character to keep going.
Yeah.
Silver Centurion movie.
Like,
Iron Patriot.
honestly, the perfect Batman series is just basically like the Bond formula. It's like, you can change directors and you can change direction. You don't need to make it like this whole thing where it's just completely different.
Well, it'd be great, too, because you could, like you said, change direction. So you could do it like the Pierce Brosnan years, where it's very one direction, like maybe it's really serious, like Nolan stuff.
Like,
and then maybe you jump over and, like, Del Toro takes a couple... I'm not saying you would, but I'm just saying, you know, that kind of style where it's more fantasy.
Especially when it's a comic book character, because there's different corners from it.
Yeah, I would love to, like, if they did an ongoing series, like, it would be awesome if they did a couple of movies where it was more like the 70s Batman, and then they went to, like, a more 90s Batman, or something like Hush, or then they did something like Killing Joke.
I would like to see, like, they give Bruce Timm, like, go ahead and direct one. Just see what happens.
He does something insane.
He pisses off everybody on set.
Paul Dini is horrified.
And that way we can get a fucking Harley Quinn.
Finally, yeah.
And that's another big thing. The Joker. Bring him back. Don't puss out just because Heath Ledger played him.
There are so many actors out there who have a Joker inside of them.
Also, white skin, green hair.
Yes, Mike.
I'm just saying.
Though, I mean, we've seen some characters so many times in Batman films, I would like them to branch out and try different ones.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like make the Joker like the central villain of one. I wouldn't mind if he was like a supporting one.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it'd be great to see some of the guys we never, like, if they did a storyline based on Holiday. They
Or,
actually
like,
did the Long Halloween.
Like Hugo Strange as a villain. I really liked that one, and that was a rumor for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you even think about, like, we've already gotten Penguin, but we haven't really gotten Penguin.
Yeah, or Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
They had their
and we
chance.
haven't got a Two-Face as a main villain.
We
A
haven't
real Two-Face.
That's why I love the Long Halloween.
Yeah, and like you said, we haven't gotten a mastermind Riddler.
Or a movie where Batman solves a mystery.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to say about, like, an ongoing series. Then you can do, like, a flat-out detective movie with Batman.
Because you can have... I mean, look at the Sherlock Holmes movies. That's the kind of tone I would love to see for a new Batman series, where it can still be based around crime solving and a mystery and still have all the action beats that you'd want in a movie like that.
I want them to do a Batman movie where you get the feeling Batman is the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Not Lucius Fox.
Yes.
Or Alfred.
Yeah. He's not just copying what they say. Excommunicated.
What if, say, possibly, there was a letter in a parallel reality that I may have wrote on.
Scribbled on.
Just
Doodled, if
to
you
write,
will.
just to write down an address. I wasn't taking clearly at the time.
I've had
I
a
ate
few
it.
brandies.
Now what if I shit it out and reconstructed it? Like, Alfred, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm very drunk. But yeah,
I'm
that's
just playing pretend.
Gordon Watson.
Well, yeah, that's.
It's going to be so sad when they do a new Batman, though, because we will no longer have Gary Oldman as Gordon.
I know,
want
right?
fucking Bryan Cranston as live-action Gordon. He's
Ooh, okay.
already just old enough to play old man Gordon.
I take it back. That would make up for losing Gary Oldman.
I'm more annoyed about, like, we were going to lose, like, the awesome origin story and the first encounter with the Joker, and...
Bale as Batman is going to be hard to top, I have to admit. Like, I am pretty worried about who they're going to cast next in the role.
I'm worried about a lot of stuff.
Who would you want for the next Batman?
Idris Elba.
If I had to cast it,
Ooh,
if I had to cast it right now, Ryan Gosling.
really?
Because let's face it, he was playing Batman in Drive.
Pretty much.
Gosling for Riddler.
I'm just going to say Lee Pace, because I think he should do everything.
Anne Hathaway.
Yes.
And that's another thing that I'm still pissed off about, the fact that we have to get a reboot and we can't use the first movies. No more Anne Hathaway Catwoman.
I think they should make it really confusing. Do a Catwoman spin-off movie at the
She
same time
says
they do the reboot.
Perfect.
She says she wants to do one.
Hilarious, because Bruce Wayne apparently would just be like sitting on the couch as she did things.
Well, you could do a prequel. Catwoman did shit before she met Bruce.
She stole diamonds.
It would be ridiculous if they did a Catwoman spinoff, but still didn't do the Flash or Wonder Woman.
Welcome to Warner Brothers.
We're never going to see a Wonder Woman movie. Just give up.
We're going to get Amazon, so that's cool.
No, I thought that got delayed.
It got delayed, but
It's not going to happen.
I bet it is. Because
It's
God
gonna
hates
happen.
us.
They'll do a pilot and throw it away. How are they screwing this up? Just follow what Marvel is doing. Copy them exactly. It'll take
No, that would make
several
sense.
years.
That would make sense. That would make sense. Don't do that. That would make sense. That would be make sense and be good.
I mean, God would kill them to like do a continuity.
By the time they get their crap together, the superhero thing is going to be out of style, and we're going to miss out on the Flash movie, Green Lantern, a good Green Lantern.
No, they'll just put out a shitty Justice League movie.
And then spin off of that, so it's
Watch.
weird.
They're going to amaze all of us. They're just going to do crappy jobs with all their superhero properties until they finally do Justice League, which will actually be Kingdom Come. Like
So
a faithful, accurate, perfect Kingdom Come.
I think this podcast has had like 100 different endings.
Yeah, we should probably start wrapping it up.
All right, good night, everybody.
Really, man? Wrap it up properly. You're the host. Get on it.
All right. Well, if you've enjoyed this rambling, incoherent mess of a talk, you can find more of it from these fine folks. MB does
The Dork Knights
Dork Knights, thank you.
and the Off Channel podcast.
James Lewis has Below the Bible Belt. And, of course, Mike has Pulp Nightmare. Am I forgetting anything? Apparently not. You can find us all at Blogspot. You can subscribe to all of them on iTunes. Check it out. Leave us a comment on our Facebook pages.
Unless you love The Dark Knight Rises and just want to send us hate mail.
I'll actually take that too. Whatever you want to send me. If you want to tell me I'm an idiot, that's perfectly.
Flexo wants friends.
That's page likes are the best likes.
How does Flexo make friends?
Ow. All right. So that's going to be a wrap. Thank you very much for listening to what I assume is going to be a 7-hour-long odyssey of a podcast. Thank you very much and good night.
And like that, he's gone.
Final Bane line.
Impossible.
Lovely voice. Hero doesn't have one.
I already did mine.
Ting, 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 ting.
It's over. It is over. It's over.